Did you guys get it? I mean, we are justified that it's okay to make mistakes. So I'm human, I'm okay to make mistakes. No, we need to see further. No, I'm here, but I don't want it to be here. I wanted to be in the angelic kingdom because I wanted to be in the paradise. I wanted to be in a planet that has no suffering. I wanted to be in a planet that, you know, I have good parents. I wanted to be in a planet that my friends and my co-workers, they all loved me and they all loved them. So don't be a human. So don't make mistake. Don't make mistake. Because otherwise, automatically, you're going to be in this kingdom. I don't want to be in this kingdom the next 10 reincarnations. I wanted to evolve. I think that's what we need to do. We need to start to think over there. Don't set your life for a small thing. Don't justify your mistake all the time. You know, we evaluate the mistake and then say, okay, next time I'll do better. So let's move on because I wanted to bring a little bit about Joana. Joana de Angela is the spirit guide of the Spiritus Brazilian medium, Divaldo Franco. And in a book that she calls The Conscient Being, I put it here, it's still in Portuguese, o Ser Consciente, is beautiful, the book. She invited us to be this conscious being, okay? In another way, she took the psychology approach to help us, to invite us to be more purified, as Emmanuel mentioned, more perfect, to make less mistake, and to recognize our failures and work to be, you know, perfect. So, and she gives some tips how we should work on this. First of all, we need to have this self-acceptance. We need to accept ourselves, okay? Across all levels. Material, our body, our life. But let's be careful. Accept ourselves here doesn't mean that we need to stay stuck. Or I need to accept myself, I have this kind of job, that's it, I don't want to progress, I don't want to think about. It's not in that way. Accept ourselves is across all the board, is accept everything that is, we cannot change over there, okay? So I'll give some example, like, you know, sometimes, for example, we feel, especially when we become a teenager, we look in the mirror, and then the first thing we complain is about our body. And I had this experience when I was a teenager. Didn't like my hair. One thing that I didn't like is I was too short. I wanted to be a tall guy. And if you talk to the tall guy, they're going to say, oh, I wanted to be... I mean, we are not so much in peace with ourselves. We always wanted to change. Sometimes I talk to my wife, and you know, and she say, oh, I wish I have like straight hair. And then I talk to a friend, and the friend has curly hair, and she like, I wish I have, I mean, like, becomes like, you know, it's a problem. We wanted to sometimes be what other people is. And this sometimes we don't accept ourselves. I'm not saying that we should not strive to have good health, good look, to dress well. That's not the point. But sometimes we waste a lot of time in little complaints that, you know, doesn't help. So one thing that she says is like this. Then you're going to recognize that you are close to this level, conscient being, like are fully aware about everything. First, to live in the present. She mentioned this. We need to be in the present as much as we can. If we need to go a little bit in the past, it's just to revisit and come back. Don't spend too much time over there. If we need to go to the future, it's just to plan, you know, and come back. And be aware, 24/7. I'm here, you know, I'm looking at you. We are having this conversation. Why I'm saying conversation? Because although I'm verbalizing, but you guys are thinking, and the verbalization is a consequence of our thoughts that was put in action. So we are all here talking. Okay? I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say. You guys are looking how I move my hand and the way I speak, my accent, and all these things. Some of you are thinking about what I'm gonna eat later. So it is a conversation. I just ask that the conversation stay here. Think about the lunch later. So she said that we need to be fully present, okay? It is important. You are at work, fully present. You know, I know that we have family issues, but if you are in the work, try just to concentrate in the work. And my wife, after she got in her work, 10 minutes later, she started to text me. I said, look, darling, if it is, someone is dying, if it is very important, I will stop everything and give my attention, you know. But we need to have this discernment to say, look, this is time for this is time for that. Discernment. So, one thing that she says is that the conscient beings has this fully understand about what is right, what's wrong. Daniel, what is right, what is wrong? Well, everything, and in the book, the Spirit's book, Kardec asked this question, and he say, right is everything that goes according to God's law, the divine law. Wrong is everything that deviates from the divine law. Now, if you look history, we don't need to go, we just need to see what's right, what's wrong. When we look at the Ten Commandments, we already have some hint over there what to do is right, what's wrong. Only that Ten Commandments is already like, okay. When we look the Beatitudes that Jesus brought to us, the consolation, so we know when we read Paul's message about love, about charity, so we have a guideline over there. When we look the history of the Buddha, he's already giving us all the things that we should do or should not do it. So we already have everything in front of our computer, if we Google, or in our bookshelf, if we read the books. If we go to church, if we go to place that really are worrying and promote peace. So, of course, we still have a long way to go. We have all the information over there, but we still have difficult to accept, because when we see injustice, then we get mad. When someone hurt us, then it's difficult for us to forgive. Forgiveness is for the human kingdom. Perfect spirit doesn't need to forgive. Because forgiveness is just for those that feel hurted. Because if you don't feel hurted, so you don't need to forgive. Jesus is the perfect example of this. He was judged, he was crucified. And the moment he was in the cross, he didn't say, I forgive you that crucified me. What he said, Father, forgive them because they don't know what to do it. So Jesus didn't ask for forgiveness and didn't forgive us. So when you read the text in the Bible, we think that Jesus forgave us, he saved us. Well, look at back. Forgive, we feel the need to forgive someone, to ask forgive because we feel hurted. Jesus didn't feel it. He was sorry for us. He promised us another consoler. He said that he's never going to abandon us. He's always going to be with us. He didn't complain. So he knew he was already fully a conscient being. Don't judge. When he was judged by Pilate, he just listened. It was not worthy for a perfect spirit to argue to that is in this level, going down and argue with us that think that, we know what we are doing. Don't justify. This is very interesting, isn't it? Because we have this. This happened to me, it happened to all of us, okay? This is just a conversation. But by talking, by bringing this to fruition, we kind of learn how to, to work this. Sometimes we justify a lot. When God created us, He put some seeds in ourselves as a spiritual principle. That is the divine laws. So the divine laws, according to the noble spirit, they are written in our conscience. But they are not yet blossomed, because as we evolved, as we face problem, then those laws will be blossomed inside of us. So sometimes what happens is the laws is over there, and we need to exercise. We need to be put in test to realize that those law is in our mind. So when we find ourselves justifying our mistakes, well, this shows to us the level that we are, Don't accuse, don't feel guilt. Sometimes the guilt feeling come from past life. We don't know, but we have this guilt that we don't know how to deal. This is thing that really keep us stuck. I brought this quote from the Bible because I think it's very interesting. And sometimes we are here, but first we need to recognize that we are in the human kingdom. Second is that it is okay that we are not supposed to know everything. So in this quote says, examining everything carefully and keep only what's good. And also he mentioned abstain from evil, abstain from every form of evil. Paul wrote this letter to the Thessalonians, this is in the Bible, give this encouragement, this guidance to that community in that time. Let us look outside. We are not saying here that, you need to stay protect all the time. We are here to go to the field. It's a battle to strive to be better than we were. So let us examine everything and keep only what is good. So when we talk about the present cause of our suffering, we can identify this in an individual way, but also collective way, so in the social way. So in the individual way, this is a result of the misuse of our free will. We already mentioned of this. We was given to us some freedom. Our freedom is limited, okay? So, and this is good, because otherwise we might, let our instinct regulate. So we get the reason that now is try to hold our instinct and give to us some freedom. It's like, when we have toddler at home, we give some freedom to them, isn't it? The crib or the little room, and they can walk. So there is things that we can do it, we are allowed to do it, but there is consequence as well. So socially speaking, we can see this when we're in a position of power, like politicians, and sometimes, we held like a responsibility in our organization. Whatever we do with that freedom, we might affect others, and we are all in this pool, in these oceans, that people has different roles. Someone has big roles, other has small, but at the end of the day, we are responsible for the outcome of everything. So we are like, our free will not only affect us, but also affect our social life, and what happened in society, there is a feedback to our life as well. So, and that's why we find ourselves with, many of these things here that we see, like, poverty and problems in our society. I'm almost close to the end. So I just wanted to bring very quickly here some question and answer from the Spirit's book. One of the questions that Kardec asked is, in this planet, why do the wicked usually exert a great influence over the good? This is the question, why we have so much evil over there? That's the feeling that we have, we perceive, isn't it? I mean, like, we are in this transition. We still have a lot of people doing bad things, but our society has been, you know, much better nowadays when you read history. And the Spirit says, because the good are not assertive, the wicked are scheming and daring, whereas the good are timid. Once they finally make up their minds, the latter will prevail. So I highlight this word assertive. For my friends here that was born here, or speak the language better than me in this house, so what means assertive for you? What means being assertive? Aggressive. Aggressive, okay. It was.
That means that is able to demonstrate and to live the
Be assertive.
ideas.
The idea, okay.
Without that listen in terms of action.
What else? Any other? To be assertive. What means be assertive? No fear expressing. Convincing. I'm convinced that this is the right thing today. Yeah, okay, so everything is right. There is no right and wrong here. Everything, you guys, yeah, be assertive has this conviction that what you're doing is the right thing to do it. Okay? So, also Kardec asked, so let me go back here, because this is very important. I mean, sometimes, you know, they say something here that, they say something here assertive, and they say that they are wicked, they are scheming and daring, they are aggressive. They don't fear, you know, when people decide to do something that's not according to God's law, they go and do it. And sometimes we see this and we become like a little bit, you know, fearful. There is something that happened to me. Yeah, sometimes there is this situation. One day I was driving, leaving a gas station. It's just a little example. And this young lady came and did a wrong U-turn and hit our car. But it was dark, it was like, you know, during the night. And there is a gentleman that was driving behind us and saw everything. And you know that when you have a car accident, everybody was very, you know, stressed and complained, you did this, we did that. So in that situation, we need to have a third person to be a witness to say, okay, you are wrong. I knew that I was right, but she was telling that she was right. So in there, if there is no witness, there is no crime. So we called the police came, and the guy, before the police came in, the guy spent 5 minutes for us saying, yeah, I saw what happened. The lady hit you because she was doing a wrong turn, okay? So and then I turned to the guy and say, hey, can you give us your information so in case if, you know, we need to go to a dispute? In that moment, the guy that was very helpful with the situation said, oh, no, I'm so sorry, I need to go, and he just left. So we lost the car because the problem in the car was so expensive to be fixed, and when the police came, it was our word against the lady's word, and then things was not resolved. So was lamentable, you know, was not good. But it's okay. The guy, instead to, you know, help us over there, and I was asking for his information, he didn't want to be involved. And sometimes we find ourselves like this. We don't want to partake in something that we are not there by chance. If we are in that situation, it's because it's expecting from the divine creation to do our part. We are not there to judge or to take side, but to say what happened. So 3 years later, I was leaving the shopping mall, around the mall, and literally, suddenly this car came very fast. and hit all the 3 or 4 cars that was in the parking lot. The guy was trying to do a turn and lost control and hit like 4 cars. So when I looked, I saw 2 young guys. They jump out of the car and they run, and they disappear. They run to the, completely disappear. I witnessed that. Was like, I don't know, very close because my car was parked very close. So immediately a lot of people came and the police came. And I have the same feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna leave here. I look around, there is nobody that saw what happened but me and the person that was with me in that time. So I have that impulse to do the wrong thing, that was leave the scene, and I was not here, I don't want to be involved on this. So I decided to stay. The police came, and a lot of people came to see what happened. And the police asked, who witnessed the situation? Anyone saw what happened? And I guess I saw it. So then I have to give my information, everything. So we went home. 1 month later, FBI knocked my door. FBI. I felt I was in the Hollywood movies. No, I'm not joking. This was serious. 2 gentlemen, well-dressed, pulled their badge, say, we are from the FBI. We are investigating what happened in that day. So, and your information is here because you are one of the witnesses, the only one of the witness of what happened. And apparently, this is a scheme that's happened in the state when people are throwing cars in the parking lot, and I don't know, I don't know what's happened there. So, and I remember they did those things that they do in the movie, they brought some picture, they separate me and my partner, so one talk here, the other one talk over there, and I felt, wow, this is true. So, and basically they ask a lot of information, and they ask us to look several pictures over there of guys and to see if we can identify. Unfortunately, I couldn't help much over there because things happened too fast. I know that the 2 guys was African-American guy, but I didn't see their face. So I couldn't point in those pictures over there who I saw drive. But this is a small thing that happens in our life that if we abstain ourselves, if we refuse to help, our society is not going to move faster because we are just miss the opportunity to help things be resolved. It's a small thing, isn't it? But if every time we have a small thing and if we don't do what we're supposed to do it, then become a social problem. And we cannot blame if tomorrow something happens in our backyard or in our house.
Stopping you from doing the right thing.
But now we have our reason. Now we are granted with the ability to make a decision, and we need to exercise that. We cannot let fear all the time, come to our way and avoid us to make the right decision. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck so much. We are not here asking you to judge or to go against or that, but just do what we ask you to do. So, another question that is very important to check, could humans always overcome their evil tendencies through their own effort? So, like sometimes we see news and we say, oh my goodness, this planet is going crazy. Nothing is going to change. And people don't want to, to change. But this is for us. And the Spirit says, yes, and sometimes with very little effort. What we lack is willpower. How few of you make certain effort, however? So we need to go home and we need to do a reflection, personal inventory, and see how much of willpower we have if we wanted to change an event of our life that still make us angry every time I think about that situation. People hurt us badly. And it is okay to have our 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, but if we spend years with that remorse, resentment inside of you, and if we are unable to forgive, then becomes a problem. For whom? For us. We are missing the boat here. So if we have issues that is very painful for us, let's face it. Probably you're gonna say, it's not time yet. Let's give some time. Because we are not perfect, we need to have this time. And you feel hurted. The root of feel hurt is pride and selfishness. Because we just feel hurt because we are still prideful people. We are still humans. So that is okay to recognize, but let's work on this. I like to finish with a music by this gentleman, Tony Melendez. Have you heard about him? Okay, Tony Melendez, he was asked to perform, to sing for the Pope in 1997 when the Pope Paul II came to the U.S. He did a tour in the U.S. He was invited to. I put the lyric over there so we can, because there is other component in the video that I'm going to show, but the lyric, the music that he composed called Never Be the Same. Well, there is nothing more sad than when we meet our friends that we haven't seen for like 10 years, and the friend comes to us and say, "Hey, Daniel, you didn't change anything. You look the same." Well, if they say this with regards to our appearance, our physical body, that's wonderful. But if they say this with regards to our character, our moral, then it's a little bit problem, because we wanted to show more maturity, more smart, or, we wanted to show that we progress. If we are still the same person, the way you behave, the way you think about the politician, you should show some degree of improvement, isn't it? And he put this song, and I want us to read together. So he says, "Today is filled with love. Today is like no other day before. You and I will never be the same. I give you all my love, this day and every day, forever and forever, in our joys and in our pains. We become the sign of love our God has given us. We become the witness to His grace. We fill the day with love. Today is like no other day before, and even more, you and I will never be the same. Our union with our God, we are becomes as one. In Him, we will bring light into the dark. We fill the days with love today, and like no other days before, and even more. You and I will never be the same." Now I'm going to play the video, and then we just make a little comment after, and then we can open for questions, okay? Let me just...
Holy Father, we now have a special gift that we would like to present to you. Our gift represents courage, the courage of self-motivation and family support. Our gift is music, and the performer that says, "When I sing, I hear the Lord." Holy Father, we are proud to present to you Tony Melendez.
He's filled with love. He is like no other day before. You and I will never be the same. I give you all my love, this day and every day, forever and forever, in our joys and in our pain. We become the sign of love.
So I just wanted to see what the Pope, you guys should see what the Pope is going to tell him. I think it's very important for our conversation today. Because look at what the Pope left his place to go all the way to talk to him. So, I just want your comment on this. What came to your mind when we see Tony performance? What did you see that was different?
He took off 4 strings.
Oh, that's a good observation. Probably that was not his guitar that was playing, yes. What else?
12-string guitar, but he's only playing.
Yes. What else?
Courage, determination.
Courage, determination. And we observed the way he played with his feet. No arms.
What made me mad? I play the guitar.
I mean, like,
I have fingers.
because we don't have time. Yeah. Because we don't have time, I'm not going to go in his life, but I encourage you as an exercise, a homework, to read about the life of Tony Melendez. Just Google.
He accepted to, for him, I mean, the way I took it to, some people have some illness, some people born with some defect, they don't accept it.
Yes.
And
Self-acceptance.
He showed that he accepted, and he is wonderful that he can show. I never read anything about him.
You need.
I think he can show to others everything's possible. And can I just make a little?
Yes. No, that's fine, because it's part of our question and answers.
I like to give example to my students. Matter of fact, his wife, Kristen, sent to put in on YouTube 2 days ago. She's my friend
Yeah.
on Facebook. She put something similar with a young girl that had to take a piece of her leg, using her knee to be a different joint and her ankle to become her knee.
To
And
them.
I shared it to my husband, and my husband said, and then later, that same young girl was dancing ballet on point shoes, with no feet, no leg. But what I want to say, when I was looking to him, I remember the video your wife sent me, and my husband said, I was up one day telling my husband, what I can do to help my kids to improve, to make my kids to understand that they could do more. I showed the video to my students yesterday. So sometimes other people help us, like his wife, doesn't know she helped more than 20 students yesterday in my school to give them encouragement.
Courage.
So that's how I felt he was doing, and we sometimes do to others, and we don't know we are doing.
Yes.
So like your wife did an
Yes.
Your wife did an shows helping me
Yes.
with my kids by saying that
Yes.
like accepting. And the other girl that didn't born, that's what I want to get. He born probably, I don't know.
Yes.
I believe he born without arms.
Yes.
This younger teenager, she born with both legs. She lost half.
Okay.
Well, it was fun, the way her leg is now. And she accepted also, and she said, that surgery was good for me. And I accepted, and look at how many people,
Yes.
even now, that born perfect, we don't know, I can lose my arm tomorrow.
Yes.
And maybe not accepted. And maybe accepted. So those is a good example.
Yeah. And okay, go ahead.
I would just like to share that self-acceptance is a process.
Yes.
It's not something that you can do from one day to another. So slowly you have to recognize who we are and also recognize our limitations. But
Yes.
don't allow these limitations to
To
limit
block.
ourselves.
Yeah. Perfect.
So basically, like he could be stuck complaining why God, didn't give arms to him.
Perfect body.
But exactly. But he found other ways
To
to play
compensate.
his music. And we don't need to go to this extension of not having perfect body. Sometimes we just don't accept, our life story or the place we were born,
Yes.
the conditions we were born. So I think it's a process to find this self-acceptance and